right, Mr. SimpleBiz guy, let's start the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SimpleBiz360 podcast. We are so jazzed up tonight because we have a returning guest, Kelly Johnson, coming to us from the West Coast. Kelly was on episode 40 with us. And Kelly, hello, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff. I am glad to be back on the SimpleBiz360 podcast. Excited to share what's latest and greatest in my corner. My name is Kelly Johnson. I currently am a merchandise manager at Adidas. Live and work in the city of Portland. Outside the 9-to-5 grind, I'm the founder of the Kelly Johnson Foundation and podcast host for my own pod, the Daily Grind podcast. We'll speak more on.
Absolutely. Well, so cool to have you back. And I was fortunate to be a guest on Kelly's show as well. So anyway, we really appreciate you tuning in, everybody. And if you're a first-time listener, you can get this on YouTube. You can get it on IGTV for the shorter versions. This will not be able to get onto IGTV, but we're also on 28 audio platforms. So all your favorites, and you can find us and this episode at SimpleBiz360.com. So we're just going to kind of let you know a little bit about how Kelly and I bumped into each other. We had some common people we knew in contacts at Wilson Sporting Goods out in the Chicago area. And that's where I first met Kelly and was exposed to her great podcast called The Daily Grind. And I was a guest on that. And in turn, she was kind enough to be a guest on our show. And we've just really, followed Kelly, watched her become a sponsor to the Kelly Johnson Foundation, which we really love to just start off there, Kelly. And I got to say, folks, if you're tuning in and you're, listening to it because you're more interested in learning about Kelly, what I've discovered is, Kelly, you're an encourager. That's what you are. I think you encourage the best in people. And, that's what you're about to me. And I'm so happy to be part of the, just to help out in a small way for the Kelly Johnson Foundation. So tell us a little bit about this foundation. How did you come up with this? What is it?
Yeah, really well said, Jeff. I appreciate handing the mic off to me. The Kelly Johnson Foundation. So throwback to 2014, actually right around this time, September of 2014, I was a college undergrad at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I entered the business school with the entrepreneurship drive and really excited to learn about and give back into my respective community. I came into the university with a few one-time scholarships back in the day. And I was really motivated by those kind local club organizations to help fuel my grind and get me to pursue my 4-year degree there at that university. I had a light bulb moment come in my head, hey, can I create a scholarship program myself and make it more official and have it under a 501c3 nonprofit? So I worked with the Law and Entrepreneurship Clinic at the UW Madison campus. I talked to a few different students to fill the right paperwork for the non-stock corporation. Okay. And then went through all the leaps, bounds, blood, sweat, tears. Maybe not so much on that side, but the hard work that goes into making those things happen. And fast forward today, 2024. This is perfect timing. Jeff's having me on the podcast here. This is our 10th year anniversary for the foundation. Wow. And we've grown each and every year. I think my first year with the foundation, we had one event. I hosted a tennis tournament when I was in college. I was teaching tennis on the side. I was like, let me give back to the community, have this fun, family fun event that promotes health, fitness, but also a key fundraiser for us. And it went really well. So I renewed that tennis tournament, expanded to a few other events. And then we've actually, 2023, we've hosted 15 events. 2024, we're on track to even grow closer to 20. Wow. I mean, the year's still going on, but that includes our special turkey trot that Jeff Mason and his team are a part of and a great sponsor. This is our 7th year. Wow. With the turkey trot. So we just continue to grow, continue to expand our community outreach, and continue to give back. I mentioned the scholarship program. So the Johnson Family Scholarship, that's our bread and butter of our nonprofit. So we host a lot of fundraisers across the U.S. now. We were Midwest focused, but we've expanded over the years. We've raised money, and those proceeds go to the scholarship program, where we reward up to 3 individuals that are graduating from high school to pursue their own degree, again, support future young leaders out there in the world.
Wow. And so you finance the scholarship is in the form of tuition and room and board. Is that how it works?
Yeah, we fund their tuition, room and board, books, whatever we can do with our monetary donations. And we get to see, it's really cool because we get to see them, excel in their current high school community. But then when they go 4 years or go to the university of wherever they would like to go, we awarded this year was our 3 recipients were Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Oregon, but it rotates now on different states and places. We actually make our mark in, but yeah, that helps them fuel their grind. And we've now had kids that gone through our program that, actually graduated from college, had an internship, now are post-college in their own respective. So it's full circle. It's really cool to see and look back over the years. We've awarded 22 scholarships since inception. I think the last time I was on your show, we were in the teens, but now we're in the 20s.
Nice. Oh, that is so cool. Now, and is this kind of a payback? You wanted to pay back some of the things that were part of your life as you were going through your academic experience. Is that really what this is?
Yeah, it basically came from my personal experience. Academics fueled my grind, but then also too on the scholarship and what the community did to support me back in the day. And I think that really helped me to where I am today and continue to accomplish different things, achieve, move across the country, level up my career in a professional setting. And then now with all these events and programs we offer with the foundation, it gives other opportunities for students. Looking back, in the shoes of when I was a high school student. It really gives back that satisfying moment to do the same for others. Nice.
And so what is the criteria from the student point of view, Kelly, to be a recipient of one of your scholarships?
Yes, Jeff, in the short, simple terms, we look for well-rounded students. We've actually transitioned over the years. We used to just have a paper application they'd fill out and hand off to the administrative office at their high school. Now we've converted to fully online. So high school seniors, if you're tuning into today's show, or even check out our website, we'll obviously put where to find us.
Sure.
With Jeff and SimpleBiz360, but they fill out essentially like a 2-page application with their academic background, their leadership involvement, what they've done at their school, whether it's sports, interest clubs, volunteerism. We also have them submit a short essay to us about what their passions, what their aspirations are to do after high school. And then we have our scholarship committee at the Kelly Johnson Foundation, where we go through each of the buckets and choose our recipients for the class of now upcoming 2025.
So leaders and success and is athletics a part of this as well? A part of the mix of the buckets you look at? Is it kind of all blended together?
Yeah, it's all blended together. If they are like extracurriculars play a really great part, because we also have within our foundation our Johnson Equipment program, where we actually give back a donated or brand new or gently used sports equipment to high schools across the nation. So we also look into the sports realm too, but they don't need to be an athlete. They can be involved in other activities that they have at their high school.
Nice. So now your background, when you were going through this and being the recipient of some of this assistance, you were high school. Take us back to high school. You were involved in athletics, tennis in high school, correct? And track.
Definitely. Yeah, I was really well-rounded. I played tennis all 4 years in school, but then you could only take one sport per semester. So in the fall was the tennis player, and then the spring I did my first 2 years in soccer, and then I transitioned to track and field my upperclassmen years.
Nice. And then you went on in college. You played tennis at college. Is that correct? University of Wisconsin.
Good memory. I played club tennis at University of Wisconsin-Madison, and then I just did fun road races outside the tennis, traveling and practices. And then I've continued on to still be involved in tennis, more on the event side, to be honest. But now avid runner.
You very good. Well, and we'll talk about that in a second because we did touch on that in our first podcast. But staying on this theme of the Kelly Johnson Foundation, and yes, so we're going to give you a chance in a second to call out the URL and where they can get in touch with you. But I would imagine, Kelly, that over now 10 years old, you've been able to reach out and help 20 some odd people. You've heard some cool stories, I'm sure. What's the one post-recipient story you've heard, or some feedback you've received from a foundation recipient that really touched you? Is there one that sticks out?
Sure. I don't want to label it just the one-off or timestamp this episode because we get really great stories each and every year. Yeah. I'll say on the recipient side, the ones I actually had moving out on the West Coast again, moved out to Portland, Oregon in around this time. It'll be my 3-year anniversary living out here, I believe, next week as we're airing this episode or as we're recording this episode. But the one that hits home actually most recently, 2024, I awarded a young lady at Sherwood High School, so Portland suburbs in Oregon. And she was, to be honest, they had a typical words and senior honors night. I'm actually one of the last foundation or organizations to announce their winners of this show. But since we are nationally recognized at this point, when I went up to the stage and I took the mic and I went through her accolades and then announced her name, she was beyond surprised, excited, and to be honest, really emotional and really happy to see me. And I received to continue the show, the recognition, because I had to keep on track of the 2-hour event. She contacted me after the event saying, I can't believe you were actually present. Kelly Johnson was here to award me this scholarship because they thought I was all over the place, which I am with our events. So it's cool to see that, firsthand and shaking their hands. Now, since we do travel for events, so I'm not always present at all the events that we host. So it was cool to do that for the Oregon student.
That's great. And to just be there and physically see the emotion well up and the, the gratitude, and to be able to see face to face. Yeah, I can only imagine. That's very cool. And not to shortchange any of the other, like you said, there's great stories out there from other folks, but, just one that touches the heart. Now, very cool. Well, again, just where can, I know you have a LinkedIn page, but you have other contacts for the Kelly Johnson Foundation. How would someone go about donating? How would someone go about applying to be a recipient?
Yes, great questions, Jeff. So we have an online presence and social media presence. So our website, www.kjfwi.org. So our initials, Kelly Johnson Foundation, and then wi.org. On our website, you'll find about us, about the scholarship program. We have a scholarship sub website that has the direct link to apply. Our class of 2025 application is already open right now. So high school seniors out there, if you're tuning to today's episode, you can apply as of today, as we're speaking right now. The deadline to apply, it goes through mid-April. So you have enough time throughout the school year to write your resume, your background, and get those recommendation letters. And then also on our website, we have, about our upcoming events, our podcasts, where to contact, as well as our donation links. So it hooks up to our Square website. We have a few merch opportunities. You can buy some swag of us, but also even just directly donate and help us support our mission and our vision here. In addition, our social media, we are at Kelly Johnson Foundation on Instagram. So you can check out latest and greatest. We post photos, videos, media about what we've been working on each and every week.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. And folks, you're going to see a little title card underneath Kelly's name periodically throughout the episode if you're on the YouTube experience. And we're going to have some of our call out URLs there. And then in the notes, certainly on any one of the podcast formats you're listening to, you can grab the URL contacts as well. So thank you so much. And Kelly, so I know that, health and fitness is a very, very, it's a very big part of your life, always has been, still is. Would love to have you talk a little bit about that. And I do want to say that that's another commonality that you and I had. I think we talked about it early on. I've just kind of finished now after 44 years running. And I've been running for 44 years after I played college soccer. And you know what? My body's starting to talk to me and telling me, you know what, dude, just walk more than you run now. Pick and choose your runs. Why don't you give it some vigorous walks? And so I've amassed 36. I'm a little over 36,000 life miles, which for anybody who's calculating, it's 1.5 times around the world, 6.5 times, almost 7 from New York to LA and back again. So over my lifespan and 6 marathons, you know, I've been able to achieve that. But I've never, in a competitive angle, the best competitive result I've ever posted in an event like that is to get under 4 hours for a marathon, which I did twice. I did 3 hours and 49 minutes in Philadelphia. But Kelly, you have taken your passion for running to another level. And I would love for you to just explain or just share with people, you know, the importance of health and fitness in your life, throughout your life. But more importantly, how does it fit into your life right now? And what are you doing with it?
Yeah, really great question, Jeff. Yeah, health and fitness, number one. I think in order to be, you know, a successful podcast host like yourself, or to do really well in my accolades, you know, or I call them extracurriculars, what I do outside of work.
Yeah.
In an office setting, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your body, your whether it's your physical, mental, social well-being. And health and fitness really hits home for me. I use working out or walking, running, tennis, pickleball, list could go on, soccer, the list could go on and on in sports, as a stress reliever and way to socialize with friends, you know, throughout the week or even on the weekends. So it's the core of what I do. It helps me, you know, wake up in a great mood and get along with my day. And then when I participate in different activities or events or races or tournaments, I'm able to literally, you know, I have a couple different goals on the running side. So work towards achieving those goals, but then able to share my story, even be that, you know, running advocate on, hey, Kelly, what are the best shoes to wear, or where should I go? Or I know the last time I was on your show, I had some recommendations on the marathon side. So me being able to utilize my experience along the way, as well as the, you know, uptick on my lifetime miles too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and but now you are actually competing with yourself, and you're turning out some pretty good results. Share with us some of your, what's your, I mean, you're coming up in the top, you know, your podium. You're getting some medals, aren't you?
Yeah, we're getting some medals. We're getting some hardware. I'm still work in progress on the trophy room. Soon to happen down the road. But I'll say on the running story, I think since actually kind of right around the time I was on your show the first time in 2020 or just around that time period. So I do a lot of I run road races. So essentially races, whether 5K, 10K, half marathon, I've been recently focusing more on the 10K specialty, which is 6.2 miles for your listeners out there. But I've come to a realization, I love to travel. I love to run. How can I blend both of those into one and make a really cool goal? Yeah. So I've created a goal for myself to race in all 50 states of the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So cool. Which is a really great goal. It gives me an excuse to, one, you know, hop on a flight and get to see another part of the country, check out some cool city, what their best food places to go to, what sites to see, or even catch up with friends I know, whether it's on the podcast side or from another networking part of my community. Today, as of 2024, September 2024, I've ran in 37 states, races, and we're on track to hit all 50 by the end of 2026.
That's so cool. Well, I admire you for that so much. And, you know, it is so fun, right? I mean, I've only run 6 marathons, but I got the, you know, New York, Philadelphia. I did Grandma's up in Duluth. I got a buddy in Duluth right now. And I told him, you got to go eat at Grandma's restaurant there. It's really the one who sponsors the race. But, you know, Virginia Beach. And you think about the places you can go and where running can take you to states and to cities and places you've never seen before. So, you know, I admire that. That's so cool. You know, a great bucket list to have. And gosh, you're very, very far along. 37 out of 50 states. That's really terrific. And then you're medaling along the way. You're earning. Didn't you I'm not mistaken, didn't you earn your way into the Boston Marathon?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was able to, with my fast enough time, I was able to qualify for the Boston Marathon. It was supposed to happen 2020 of April, but then pushed with COVID, and
Mhm.
I actually competed in the race October of 2021. But
Mhm.
yeah, I got in with my time qualification. That was my fourth marathon I've done. I'm currently still at the 4 marathon.
Yeah.
I've held on to Boston as
Yeah. Yeah.
my last marathon so far. Might open up the door to more marathons in the future, but just focusing on the 10K because that's my specialty. I like to go run fast in a short period of time. It works well with my work schedule and training schedule and whatnot. But yeah, I recently just did a 10K yesterday locally in Oregon. But for my race dates coming up here next month in October, I'm going to do race date Maryland, and then November I'm hitting Pennsylvania.
Wow. That is really remarkable. Well, and you know, you just, you know, someone who hears you can just, you know, hear the energy in you and just hear the excitement and passion for life. I mean, it just comes through the mic. I mean, it just does. And you know, when you think about health and fitness and your you know, your passion for various sports and being engaged in athleticism and you know, getting your heart going, how does that help um, you know, with that life work balance? Does it help you at the office as well?
Yes, I believe me being participating in physical activities or when I just did this race over the weekend, me training in preparation for this race, it also helps me kind of strengthen my skill set, you know, whether it's, you know, training for how many, like doing different mileage on the runs or, you know, I have different track workouts where I have to have a more strenuous activity or strenuous workout to build in order to run faster when I compete. But when it translates in the work setting, it obviously I'm able to have a lower resting heart rate
Yeah.
when I'm sitting down or even when I'm at rest or sleeping. And I think that helps me, you know, improve my sleep efficiency. But then also to if there's stuff that pops up that's more stressful or time sensitive,
Right.
it's not overwhelming. I'm able to have
Right.
that calm, collective, and yeah, that positive energy that can
Right.
bring to, you know, my day-to-day interactions, but then also bring to the work culture that I do here at Adidas.
Yeah, that's what I found too, and I'm so glad you touched on that. That you know, just when that stress hits at the office, you know, that lower heart rate, that your body's tuned up and your body's in a rhythm that you know, if you hadn't been exercising and injecting this healthy lifestyle into it, you know, those stressful conditions can raise the blood level real quick. They can get you, you know, put you into that impatient zone, and they can do a lot of things at work that really ruin the work experience or put a damper on it, put a damper on your relationship with associates, with teammates. And you know, do you find that this this aptitude for being fit just sets the table right for every day at work? Is that what it does?
Yeah, I think so. It gives me a good, you know, clear and healthy
Mhm.
mindset to, you know, get what I need to do on my list for the day, but then also be staying organized. Like, hey, I'm going to do a training run during lunch or after work or whatever the time
Yeah.
may be. I'm able to like prioritize what my needs are again, both on the, you know, physical health, mental and a
Yeah.
social aspect of it too. So it helps kind of like keep me, you know, on
Yeah.
track or on pace, I could say, on
Yeah.
running terms
Yeah.
uh, throughout the day, but then
Yeah.
throughout the week too.
Cool.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, and I've been out to, I don't know if I told you, but I did it. I made a sales call to Adidas. I was actually working with the Solomon division years ago. So I went out to Portland and I went to the Adidas campus. First of all, is it Adidas or Adidas? Settle that score. What is it?
Sure. If we're recording it globally, we'll say Adidas, but if we're in
Okay.
the home country
Okay. All right. So I make sure because my
Sure.
grandsons are like Adidas or Adidas, you know. Okay. So very good. I figured it was more, you know, European in nature on the Adidas side, but you guys had like a miniature little soccer pitch set up for you know break time at lunch. You could go out and play soccer. There are plenty of people out there playing. I think the Solomon team we had, they had 5 mile hikes at lunch, bike rides at lunch. I mean, there were engagement, you know, activities rather than just this, you know, lunch experience. It was get up and go experience, right? Did they still have a lot of that there?
Yes, lots of middies. Earlier today I did I was in our cycle studio. I did a spin workout in there, but we have different fitness classes to offer, yoga, meditation. There's also like preventative or massage, therapeutic services to offer, personal training. We still have our pitch. Obviously, we have a few, I think a couple times a week. I might try to hit one of the open league sessions. I just got to bring a pair of boots to play in. But there's hiking, events to go to, golf, bike, basically any sport, you name it.
Very cool. Wow, what a great experience. And well, I'm so glad you touched on that. We just did an episode on the life work balance. We've done episodes before on is it work to live or live to work? And certainly I love just work to live, and there's so much more we can get out of life, and if we have to pay the bills, but and then that once you live that healthy lifestyle, you can bring it back to the office, and it's a little bit better. You're a little bit more of a workable teammate when you do that, but very, very cool. And so touch on, you started the Daily Grind podcast. I got introduced to that back in 2019 from our common, person at Wilson Sporting Goods. And, it was amazing to me that when I talked to you the other day, you're in your 6th year. You've never missed a week. So, tell us a little bit about the Daily Grind. What inspired that? What episode number are you at? Where's this thing going?
Yeah, Jeff, again, we're perfect time to have me on the show. This is our anniversary year for the podcast as well. So we've been around for 5 years. We recorded starting in August of 2019. I came about literally on my own daily grind. I was just grinding away in the off. I was based in Chicago at Wilson. I had a really great experience there, and then I just joined Adidas 3 years ago. But I was at office setting. I was listening to podcasts such as Joe Rogan and a few other the big well-known ones out there, and I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, if Joe can start a podcast, literally anyone can start a pod. So I worked with one of my interns at the time to get the ball rolling, and we're like, what should we call this show, talking about an interview style of what we do in the daily life of us. I'm like, well, we're grinding away here, why don't we just call it the Daily Grind? So name stuck ever since. I talked to interview style similar to Jeff here, with entrepreneurs, startup founders, business owners about their daily life, what motivates them each and every day, and giving you, key takeaways, everyday tips to reach your goals. We are currently in season 6. As we're recording this show, we're 284 episodes in. Year end, we'll hit the closure of season 6 and onto a new season again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, and what could a listener because you're listening, you're audio only, correct? You're not on YouTube, right? What can a listener expect when they tune into an episode? What do you what's your format? What are you delivering at the end?
Yeah, so we talk about basically we speak across various industries too. So I talk to folks in sports, I talk to folks in business, health, content creation, podcasting, consumer products, law, entrepreneurship. We've also done a different stints throughout the seasons of we've focused on 1 month of me speaking to college students and athletes about their daily grind. I've also talked to we had a stint with a month of Shark Tank entrepreneurs I've had on the show. So it helps underneath our whole entire umbrella brand of the foundation of so we have our high school scholarship program, but then we have our college students and recent grads that are looking to level up in their respective industry. So they can tune into a weekly episode of someone that resonates with their background, whether they're working business or wherever their industry is. So we hope to find that connection and bring that community together. Even if they can't attend one of our in-person or virtual nonprofit events, they can tune in our show whenever they'd like, any day of the week. So we have new episodes every Tuesdays. They're about 30 to 45 minutes long, so easy one to put on your earbuds and walk along or work, listen to it in the background while you're driving or even in the office.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Well, and it's, so you guys started, right? We started a little bit behind you. So this is going to be episode 257. You're on 280 something. So we started around the same time, relatively same year anyways. But, so we're coming up on our 5th year anniversary at 260, and we're going to pivot. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a pod burst at that point. So it's going to be a 1 minute, one question. So we're just going to ask the listener or viewer a question, and it's going to be a business related question that, you as the listener or viewer go back and you think about how that question can affect your business, how that business can, or how that question can help your business. And that's really where I want to, direct this portion of the interview to, is that I called you an encourager up front. And that's I tried to think, what's the best description of Kelly that I have, just knowing you to the level I do? And I think that through everything that you do, you're trying to encourage people, whether it's through the guests you have on at the Daily Grind, or whether it's through your foundation, to, not be still, to, aspire, have aspirations, get up and go, do things. You can achieve success if you want. You can be, you can be what you want to be. You just have to, take some of this information that's out there, and hopefully this information will help you and do something for you. And I just find that everything you do funnels into that, lane of traffic that I would call the encouragement lane. Would you agree with me or on that?
Sure. Yeah. Really well said, Jeff. And I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, we're looking to connect people together and motivate them at the end of the day. So they have that passion or that great idea they want to, turn into a business or a service, or actually, hit the ground running with it. So we're here to support them and, be that cheer squad from afar. So if you're tuning to today's episode, just realize, like, hey, us on the pod, we see you out there. We might not be right behind you or hovering behind your back when you're working on the spreadsheet, or at some event, trying to share flyers about your brand or business. But we know that it takes a lot of hard work and things behind the scenes that people don't see, and we try to spotlight that, share that, shed that light on it, and have our platform be that voice for you.
Yeah, well said. We all have our grind, like you say. We all have that daily routine we've got to go through. We've got a lot packed into a day. And folks, I would just encourage you, tell everybody, Kelly, where they can catch your podcast. How can they get in touch with it? And again, we'll leave the links at the end of the show to our show notes. But go ahead.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So where to find the Daily Grind? So we are on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, on basically any of your preferred podcast platforms out there. We are on social media. We have an active presence. Our handle is at Daily Grind Pod, POD. We are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok now, Pinterest too. So we have both short-term reels. We have Monday Motivation, our episode releases on Tuesdays. A lot of great content that you can soak in and be motivated on your daily grind. So check us out.
Yeah, for sure, folks. Yeah, it's well worth it, and especially anybody in the high school or collegiate zone that's looking to carve the path of life out ahead of you. It's a great inspirational bunch of guests to have on as well, and going into our 6th year. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about your daily grind. What does your merchandiser Adidas, correct? What does a day look like for you? I mean, what are you doing in the office during a routine day?
Yes, really great question, Jeff. I would say every day is different for me, but I'm a merchandise manager I currently manage our categories on the soccer side. So I think MLS, our professional soccer teams out there. I basically bring product to market. So what you see, whether it's in the fan shop, what you see on Fanatics, or even at your local Dick's Sporting Goods, I work on the product with our design team, our marketing team, our planners, making sure we can be able to chance to walk in the store or log in online to purchase something and support your team of choice. So MLS, soccer, accessories. I'm also doing a little stretch assignment right now on running. So dabbling a little bit in that space too. But yeah, being able to help bring give you what you need so you can excel, or be the loud proud fan or alum of your school of choice.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, it's so cool in St. Louis City. You've watched them embrace that team here so well. I mean, it's a great sports town, but we obviously tape the podcast out of St. Louis at Half Coast Studios. But they just love the team. I'm a little bummed out they got rid of Parker recently, but hey, what are you going to do? Players come and go, but it's just so cool to watch soccer blow up the way it has. And I played in the 70s in high school, and I got to tell a funny soccer story. So I was a baseball guy. I moved in next to a family of 4 English boys, so I learned to play soccer. I was really kind of I was terrible, but I just picked up their habits and I became a decent soccer player. Not a great one, but a decent one. But it wasn't until I went to a county tournament game, I think I saw our varsity in high school, I saw the goalie go down and I saw the sweeper, the ball, one of the opposing team members, struck a ball going into the goal mouth. It was there. It was a goal. And out of nowhere comes our sweeper, diving horizontal to the ground, like 3 feet up in the air. And he heads the ball out and the crowd goes nuts, and wasn't a goal. And they ended up winning the turn. And I thought, this, I want to be in this. This is cool. And it just grabbed me. That play grabbed me. And I've never let my passion for watching the sport or playing the sport, I just love it. And but it was that event, so it's cool. If you haven't grabbed onto soccer, anyone out there, I can't imagine, nobody's played it, but coming up through school, it's a big part of school anymore. But wow, you got to jump on a pitch and get in there with 10 other people and be part of the 11-person team. It's fun, right? I mean, isn't it great? It's a great sport.
Yeah, lots of energy, great excitement.
Yeah.
Sports bring people together.
Yeah, it does. It does. Absolutely cool. So we're proud to just mention. So you mentioned the turkey trot. So if someone wants to donate, going back to the Kelly Johnson Foundation, this is our 5th year being a sponsor for the Kelly Johnson Foundation, and it's a run up in Milwaukee on Thanksgiving. It's in the Milwaukee area, correct? And right.
Yes. What? Yes. Saturday after Thanksgiving, you can enjoy the Thanksgiving day with your family, friends, your loved ones. But yeah, we are the Saturday after Thanksgiving, 9 a.m., Brookfield, Wisconsin. So yeah, just right outside Milwaukee. We have a fast, flat 5K course around the Foxbrook Park. We are each and every year we bring more and more excitement. And my experience just doing all these road races. Last year, with the newest and latest and greatest additions was because I've had a few overall women awards throughout the races I've done, and I've had a couple of banner finishes, basically running through a taped banner. So we have a banner now for our top male and female winners of our race. We've also, since it is a family fun event, we have. Every year you can get photos with our official KJF cow mascot, KJ the cow. He will be present, running around and giving high fives at the finish. But yeah, food, refreshments, the whole shebang, Star Spangled Banner. We have a local artist that comes in to sing. Wow. Overall, great turnout. And we had our record year of 150 participants last year. We continue to grow and up our numbers and bring more people together for this wonderful event.
I wish I'm one of these days I'm going to make it up there for it. But, we got the grandkids and we juggle the Saturdays and, it's a little busy. We do Thanksgiving the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Then, so and we've gone to traveled the last couple of years. But one of these days I'm going to make it up there and see it. So Brookfield, folks, it's on the eastern part or the western part of Milwaukee. So you're obviously eastern, you're going to go into the lake. But the western part going towards Madison, right up there at 94. Greenbelt Avenue, probably a pretty good street to get off there in Brookfield somewhere, right? Isn't it right around there, or is that Berlin?
Yeah, it's just right off of Barker. But yeah, about I think 15, 20 minutes from Milwaukee. So really great clean way, easy way to get there, not too busy. And then, yeah, we have the 9 a.m. start. So don't have to wake up super early. You can get in, get your warm-ups in, get our cool swag shirt on, get the blood flowing, have a wonderful race, and then enjoy refreshments. And I forgot to mention too, we always have a raffle. We have special gifts, including we always have a SimpleBiz360 pack that we award to our recipients. So with all of our amazing sponsors. So a really well-run event, 7th annual, and just continues to grow.
Well, it's great what you're doing, and keep it up, and enjoy a beautiful Pacific Northwest out there. And is there anything I forgot to ask you, Kelly, that you'd want to add or you want to just mention?
Sure. On the foundation side, Jeff, I can talk a little bit more on our upcoming events. So like I mentioned, we host events coast to coast. We have been now having our presence at different universities around the U.S. because we do have an internship program with our podcast. We are hosting a career fair booth at the University of Maryland. This is our second year, actually, heading back to College Park out there. But we have, if folks want to, if aspiring college juniors and seniors want to apply for our internship program, we have our employee profile on Handshake. We have about 4 to 5 internships each semester available for students to apply and get that experience hands-on, whether it's sports marketing, event marketing, graphic design, podcasting, social media. So we have those opportunities available as well. That's going to be available on our website, our nonprofit website, again, kjfwi.org.
Okay, great. Well, that's awesome. Well, you're definitely spreading your wings and, becoming national, as you mentioned, which is kudos to you. You're a driven person, and I, just it's a pleasure knowing you, and I just appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're busy, and to just share with us a little bit. And if you could, I know we end every show. We love music, we love rock and roll, but everybody's got some important songs in their lives. And what song kind of bubbles up and is your lost in the shuffle track you'd like to feature today?
Jeff, you had me thinking for a bit, because I know that when I threw back to the first time on your show, me as an avid runner, I look for those higher RPMs, those faster paced songs. So I don't do too much on the rock and roll side, but I'll throw in a little hybrid one in there. Portugal the Man. So they're technically they're on the cusp of rock and roll, rock, we'll classify them, but they do hit home because they're originally from Alaska, but they live and work in Portland, Oregon. So I was like, this is perfect.
Wow.
One of their classics, they had 2017 Feel It Still. You've probably heard of it on the radio and on Spotify or wherever. But at that core, that song's all about, embracing the present moment and really letting go of your worries about the future of the past. So I think that one fits today's theme.
So important too. Well, excellent. We'll play that for sure and feature that. We won't play it, but we'll feature the link that they can go. I'm sure there's a YouTube link on it. We'll go grab it. But be present. How cool is that? Be in the moment. Don't, put the cell phones down, experience the fresh air, experience the sounds, experience the people you're engaging with. And especially during that important holiday season, where you have the turkey trot at. I mean, what a great time to just make sure that you're soaking in what's around us and not so much engaged on a phone that disengages you from where you are. So we applaud that as well. And Kelly, we thank you for being on the Daily Grind, folks. Every week you can catch it. We have the links in the at the end of the notes here, and you can see it on the card. Kelly Johnson Foundation. You've got the links there. You can go. She's on LinkedIn. You've got a profile on LinkedIn as well. So we'll give you all that information as well. Kelly, we wish you all the best. We're proud to be a sponsor with you. We'll continue our sponsorship with you in the years to come. So just count on us and go get them.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your platform here today and again, motivate y'all on your daily grind.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much, Kelly. You have a wonderful rest of the year.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jeff.
Take care.